We will.
Let's do this.
Yeah. If you wouldn't mind muting yourselves, Chelsea and I, like I said, we're going to teach for about 25 minutes, and then we're going to open it up for some good question and answer time, comments, all that kind of stuff at the end. Like I said, throw stuff in the chat along the way if you have a burning question that you don't want to forget. So purpose of this class, this is a women's health class, so hopefully you're at the right place. Tonight we're going to be talking about proactive ways that you can take care of your body, support your health. And with that, I'm going to start by talking about maybe some issues that you might be dealing with. So we've got some little reactions at the bottom you can do, or you can raise your hand if your video is on. But raise your hand if you have hormonal acne, horrible PMS, if you're in menopause, if you are moody, if you struggle with lack of energy, weight gain, weight loss, brittle hair or nails, and if you get migraines. So these are things that if you were paying attention, a lot of people raise their hands for this. And so a lot of the times we look at these things and we go, oh, it's normal that I have horrible cramps during my period. Oh, it's normal that I get broken out all along my chin when I'm on my period. If you're noticing, a lot of what we're going to talk about tonight is specifically hormone related, but we're going to be talking about women's health overall, because honestly, our hormones really impact our overall health and as well as our guts. We're going to talk about that some. But we think all these things are normal, but they're actually common. These are common issues. These are common things that we deal with, but it's not normal. So we're going to be talking about what that looks like, what it looks like for our bodies to be balanced versus unbalanced. Specifically what it looks like when hormones are unbalanced or our gut bacteria is unbalanced, things like that. I want to start by saying we're not doctors. So tonight we're not going to be diagnosing you or treating you. We're going to be sharing really like personal testimonies of things that we have used and that have really helped us out. And I cannot stress enough, like if you're dealing with things like this, they're not normal, like go get your blood work done and see what the bigger picture, what the bigger issues are. And then you have this list of tools that we're going to be talking about tonight that you can help along with those things. So we're going to be talking about a lot tonight. Mainly though, like I said, we're going to be talking about hormones. So when we talk about hormones, we're talking about the endocrine system. And a lot of people hear that and are like, I for the longest time didn't even pronounce endocrine right. So that's a whole nother story. But our endocrine system, or our hormone system, is a collection of glands that regulate everything from our metabolism, our sexual function. That's what we think of a lot of the times when we think of hormones, reproduction, and sleep and mood. Like a lot of things are regulated by our hormones. So if you, let me put this in the chat for you. If you want to see, and this is not like, if you want to see what your hormone levels are at based on, you can input with this quiz, like what some symptoms or some things that you're experiencing are. It will kind of give you an idea of what hormones in your body might be unbalanced. That kind of gives you a good starting place. So glands we're going to talk about today when we're talking about hormone health and women's overall health is our ovaries. So those are what create progesterone and estrogen. Our thyroid, a lot of women have thyroid issues. A lot of what we're talking about tonight and the reasons why we have issues with our hormones being out of balance is because of the junky stuff we're putting on our bodies and using in our homes. And that's why thyroid disease is like higher than it has ever been. Our adrenals, so those are what create cortisol, which is the stress hormone. We're all super overstressed. This has been such a stressful year. And so supporting our adrenals is super important. And the biggest thing about these hormones, and these are just some of them, but the biggest thing about our hormones is that they work together in sync. So if something is off balance or out of whack, other things can get thrown out of whack. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to segue into Chelsea, who she's going to talk more about what it means for our bodies to be balanced versus unbalanced. And then we're going to start talking about some products and things that you can use to help you find that balance.
Cool. So what does it mean for our bodies to be balanced or unbalanced? Let's start with balance. That is what should be normal, what we should be seeing. Everything in our body is going to be in tune. We're going to be full of energy, you know, being able to get things done. And we're going to have an awareness of what our bodies need. When things are unbalanced, we may not have that awareness. And that's what is so key, and what we're trying to teach people is just to be focused and looking out for these symptoms and signs that are showing that there is some sort of unbalance in your body that needs to be addressed. One of the biggest signs of unbalance is fatigue. I tell you, I struggle with being tired all the time. I just feel like constantly, you know, I'm just struggling to keep it going. But you know, with the proper stuff, we're going to talk about Life 9. That has really helped me stay upbeat and stay having a boost of energy. So that's really been helpful to me. Another common thing for unbalancedness is brain fog and poor digestion. Also things that I've dealt with, and you never really think about it until like you just start to realize like I am not feeling good, like what is going on, you know? And so when you can sort of start to just see these things happening, you realize it's not normal. Other symptoms or signs that you might find when your body is unbalanced. PMS is a high estrogen dominance in that case. PCOS, that includes increased male hormones and decreased female hormones. A lot of the, you know, the reproductive issues going on down there. Like Hannah said earlier, hormonal acne, that's another increase of male hormones and decrease in female hormones. A low libido, having decreased estrogen or testosterone, so even more hormone imbalances there. Stubborn weight. We all think that weight is just so many different things. It's what we eat, you know, it's what we do or don't do when it comes to moving, but a lot of it has to do with our hormones. And that low thyroid function that Hannah was talking about earlier. That also comes with hair loss and fatigue from that thyroid not functioning properly. Another thing is fibromyalgia. There's evidence that it has been linked to a deficient hormone production. Menopause, we talked about that earlier. That's a drop in estrogen and progesterone. And sorry if I butcher these words. I don't talk about this that often. But yes, so another drop in unbalance in those levels of those hormones. And then stress and anxiety, high cortisol levels, like Hannah was talking about earlier. That's a lot on the other end of the spectrum, things happening. A fun tip, we have CBD. We have some of the CBD balms and oils that actually brings about homeostasis in your body. And Ningxia Red also brings balance as well, which leads us into Hannah's discussion, how this all starts in the gut.
Yes, and before I talk about the gut, I just want to talk and kind of piggyback off of what she was saying. A lot of these issues that she was talking about, specifically like the hormone related issues, are majorly caused by the products that we're using. Like we can point to that and we can see that those are the things that are disrupting our hormones. And the biggest reason is because this toxic junk that we're putting on our bodies and literally all day long, which Chelsea's going to talk about this towards the end too and share some stats which are like mind-blowing to me. But we're putting these things on all day long, and a lot of these chemicals, these toxic chemicals, act like estrogen in our bodies. And if you know anything about these types of issues, even breast cancer, for instance, that's when we have too much estrogen in our body and it mutates and it expands itself, it breaks apart. And that's how those issues. So a lot of these you've seen, it's an estrogen dominance. That means we have too much estrogen. It's unbalanced. We need to have a right level of everything. So a big piece of this is ditching the junk, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But I'm going to start by talking about gut health, because a lot of the hormones in our body are created in our gut. So one hormone that's created in our body is serotonin. You probably have heard of this one before. This is the happy hormone. So there is a huge connection between our gut and our brain. So if we have a healthy gut, we're going to have less brain fog. We're going to have more energy. Because we're not weighed down and we don't have like literally like sludge in our gut that's affecting our brain. Also, another part about our gut is our gut, which when we talk about the gut, that's not just your stomach. So when I think about gut, the first thing I think of is my stomach, but it's all of that. It's your intestines, it's your colon. And so it's important for those things to be clean and working properly. And so our immune system, like 90% of it is housed in our gut, in those organs in our body. And so if we have an unhealthy gut, we also just overall have a weakened immune system and aren't able to fight things off. So serotonin, our mood is really impacted by our gut. Our immune system is really impacted by our gut. Like I said, a lot of other hormones are created in our gut. B vitamin is majorly created in our gut, or we have to have a healthy gut in order to absorb it. Say, for instance, we're taking supplements like a B vitamin, which we're going to talk about some supplements towards the end that are really great for supporting your overall wellness, but specifically like your hormones as well. So our gut impacts our emotions, our gut impacts our sleep, our energy, our stress. So many things are impacted by our gut. So what can we do to better support our gut and thus support our entire bodies? So a big thing everybody pretty much knows, eat better. And I'm not telling you like you need to eat specifically these foods in order to be healthy and have a healthy gut, because everybody is different. That's the beauty about this, is we all have different balances in our body, things that our body needs that we're not getting. And we all have different foods that we can tolerate versus not tolerate. So you really got to figure out what eating better looks like for you. Eating real food, for me, that's pretty much the language that I talk about, is I want to eat real food. I want to eat stuff that was grown in the dirt, and I want to eat stuff that's like as natural as possible. That doesn't mean I don't eat ice cream and things like that every once in a while, but I try to eat that way as much as possible. I also try to avoid sugar, because sugar just wreaks havoc on our immune system. It just decreases function of our body overall. It just slows us down, because we're just bogged down with it. And then our liver and all these things are having to filter out, literally like it's toxic to our bodies. Processed foods, I also try to avoid. Avoiding meat and dairy with added hormones. So a lot of these foods have added hormones, and like I was saying, those will completely like jack up your balance of hormones. So just making sure that you're eating like good quality animal products. With that, 2 Young Living supplements that I take every single day, they're the foundation. Like if you're only going to take 2 supplements, I always recommend these, and it's Life 9 probiotic. I don't have it. If anybody, does anybody have it that they can pretend to show it? Just pretend to show it. But Life 9 probiotic. So a probiotic is going to give your gut healthy bacteria. So that healthy bacteria is going to go in there. It's going to protect your gut from bad bacteria. It's going to make sure everything is working really well. Like I said, it's going to support your immune system. Ningxia Red, which is my favorite Young Living supplement. It is a drink supplement. It's made from Ningxia wolfberries, which are like the cousin to the elderberries. So great for immune system, really great for your gut, because this is known as a prebiotic. So a prebiotic goes into your gut and it feeds, thank you, ma'am. It feeds the good bacteria. So it makes it stronger, it makes some really strong guys that can keep your gut safe. So, and this is good for a lot of things because it's helping support your gut and make it have a good balance. It's going to help with things like energy and brain fog and things like that. I really notice. And I personally have been dealing with a bit of fatigue for the past month and just trying to figure out what is off. Which is why I really like that we are talking about when things are balanced, you can tell when things are off. If I had looked at this like a couple of years ago, I would not really notice that things are off. But because I'm much more aware of my body and taking care of it, I knew something's off. And I've been doubling up on this, and it's been really good. So that is gut health. Next, we're going to move into cleaning up your environment. Chelsea's going to share about some of that with y'all.
Yeah, it's not only important what we put supplement or food or drink wise in our mouth, but it's also important about what is in our environment that can affect our bodies. A crazy mind-blowing statistic is that the average woman puts 515 chemicals on her body every single day. And what you put on your body gets absorbed into your bloodstream really fast. And there's so many toxins in skincare and cleaning products that we might not even think about or realize until you realize it and you're like, oh wow, there's so much stuff in there that I didn't even think about or know about. And I can't even say half of the stuff that's in some of these products. Like I just looked at my shampoo bottle the other day and I was like, what is that? What is that? And then of course, the little word that they stick in there, fragrance. Fragrance can be just crap, and you think it's not that bad, but it's really not that good for you. And you think it smells good, and it may smell good, but like I said, it's not healthy for you at all. So other products include laundry detergent. That's actually the number one hormone disruptor comes in laundry detergent. And if you think about it, like we wash our clothes with it. We wear clothes every day. Our clothes are touching like the majority of our body every day. So that those chemicals are just infiltrating our systems. Oh, hey, kitty. So that's the awesome thing about being able to ditch and switch with Young Living. The Thieves Cleaner, we have Thieves Laundry Soap, our Savvy Minerals Makeup Collection, all of these personal care products. You don't have to buy everything at once and just get rid of everything that you have in your house like right away, but you can slowly replace these things each month as you get close to running out of your old products, so you can save money that way, but also you're slowly decreasing the things that have toxins in them in your house and that you're putting on your body, and replacing them with healthy products that will support your immune system and your hormones and your endocrine system and all that stuff that we've been talking about. So now we're going to jump back to other supplements and oils for women.
And the thing too that's really awesome about these products is it's not just that they don't have the junk. They don't have the junk that's causing all these problems for our body, but they have ingredients that are actually like beneficial to our body. That actually are, a lot of our products are infused with essential oils that help me calm down at the end of a long day when I take a shower and I breathe them in. Or they take better care of my teeth because they just are good at killing bacteria and germs and things. Whatever products you're using from Young Living, they have ingredients that are benefiting your body. It's not just that they're not hurting your body. So supplements and oils that I personally use that I recommend for supporting, whether it's energy, helping with brain fog, whatever, all these things that might be hormone related or just overall health wise. For women, a couple of oils I always recommend. Dragon Thyme is what I'm going to lead with. What do you think this oil is for? It's called Dragon Thyme. This one is really awesome for cramps during your time of the month. Putting it like a drop on your abdomen, or I put it on my ankles as well because it's good for helping like with circulation. And I also love to do this one like in an Epsom salt bath. That's really nice. Two other oils that I have noticed not only help me not to have all those crazy PMS symptoms, but also just help support my body even when I'm not on my period. Progessence Plus. So this is made from wild yams and it's a natural progesterone. So you might have been subscribed before like a progesterone medicine because your body doesn't create it enough, but those are synthetic. So they don't work as well in our body. They can potentially have some negative effects to them. This is 100% natural. So that's what I really like about it. And it has helped me, like I said, with like my periods overall, but I typically like will get bad acne right here, and using this has really helped. My sister, who's not on this call, also one of the biggest reasons she got started with oils is because of migraines. And we tried a lot of different things. Because there's so many different oils depending on, what your migraines are coming from. But we realized hers were hormonal. And so she started using this and doesn't get migraines anymore. So that's a good one. And then Endoflex is a blend that really is great for supporting your thyroid. So if you have any thyroid related issues, like it's slow, you can roll it directly over your thyroid. If you don't have thyroid related issues, I wouldn't recommend using it that way. And it can still support your body. So it's great for helping like detox like your liver. So you could apply it over your liver. And it's also really great for energy. So you could roll it like up your spine, like near where your adrenals are. And that would help as well. So those are 3 oils I always recommend for women to use. We were talking about, getting away from junky ingredients. And so if you like to smell good, perfume is full of junky ingredients, but you can easily replace it with essential oils, rolling them on your wrists every day, even making your own perfume. All the DIYs, we have Lindsay on this call and she's the DIY queen, but there's so many fun ways to DIY with essential oils and get all that junk out. Okay, so supplements real fast, and then Chelsea is going to talk about other ways we can support our bodies. So Sulfurzyme is one that I take every day. This is one that I took a little quiz that told me that I should take this supplement because I had weak hair, weak nails. So this is really great for supporting those, but it's also really great for helping support your immune system. This has a lot of benefits to it. If you want to look up MSM, that's the kind of sulfur that's in here. It is so good for your body, has a lot of great benefits. Next is vitamin D, which, fun fact, vitamin D is not a vitamin, it is a hormone. And I love our vitamin D because it's little dissolvable tablets. So you'll put 2 in your mouth, you let them sit there and you chew them up and they taste yummy. So if you liked the like Flintstones vitamins as a kid, this is the upgrade, but actually like good for you. And vitamin D, we all know like that's something that we get it from the sun. And so there's that seasonal depression that comes in when it gets cold and dark and we're not getting the sun that we need. And so this could really help support your mood as we're moving into those colder months. But it's also really great for like your respiratory system, your overall immune system. So that's just like a staple for me. Then we have Super B, which I call this the Energizer Bunny supplement. Most of us don't get enough B vitamin in our diet because it's mainly in gross stuff, like I think like liver and probably other gross stuff. So who eats that? But B vitamin is not only great for helping reduce stress in your body and helping like with like your brain function, but it's really great for that stress as well. So this is a good one, energy. And then I take multi-greens. This is another thing, like none of us get enough greens in our diet, and the greens, and Sophia is actually the one that got me started on this one. I hadn't been taking it. This is just has a lot of really good stuff that help like detox and get all that sludge out of our bodies, which also really helps me with energy. I call these 3, Ningxia, Super B, and multigreens together, I call it the Energizer Bunny Trio. Like if you need help with brain fog or energy, those are amazing ones to take. And then last, I do not have it, but Super Cal Plus is a really good supplement to take because as we as women age, our bodies stop creating calcium. And that's why in my family, especially, like osteoporosis is a thing, where your bones are weakening or dwindling away or whatever. So making sure that we're supplementing our bodies with calcium as we get older is really important. So those are supplements. Chelsea's going to wrap us up with other things we can do to support our bodies, and then we're going to open it up to questions.
So yeah, just in general, in addition to doing all of these things that we're talking about, just move your body every day. It's going to help reduce stress and keep your balance or keep your hormones in balance. Whether it's just going for a walk, maybe doing a yoga video, doing a extra hardcore workout, or even if it's just chasing your kiddos around the yard, it's moving your body, it's getting you active, getting your hormones pumping and everything. And self-care is like needs to be a number 1 top priority, especially right now with all that's going on right now. We often put ourselves on the back burner, and that stress can just put our hormones out of whack like galore. So just take care of yourself, do what you need to do to take care of you. It's like that analogy on the airplane where you got to put your oxygen mask on you first before you can assist other people. If you're not taking care of yourself, you're not going to be very good caretaker for anyone else. Lots of water. You should be drinking lots of water. That will help, flush any bad stuff out of your body, keep your joints and muscles lubricated. water is just good for you all around. Get enough sleep. Sleep is very important because certain hormones are actually released when we sleep. And so our gut and immune system is actually working at night. And so if you're not getting that appropriate amount of sleep, then that's just going to throw your system out of whack even more, you know? So all this fun talk, let's talk about getting started. We have a couple options for different things that we've talked about. There's the Ningxia Red Kit. You get 2 bottles of Ningxia Red, like Hannah is displaying, Hannah Vanna White. You also get 30 packets of like the little single packets of the daily doses of the Ningxia. Those are super nice to take on the go if you're at work, if you're getting run into the park or something, you know. You also get a box of nitro. Yeah, nitro, I think that's how you say it. That's like an extra little energy boost. You can put that in your Ningxia to make it an extra double whammy, or you can drink it straight. You can make so many different cocktails with that stuff. If Ningxia Red isn't the way you want to go, we also have the Thieves Kit. That comes with so much goodness. It is so much bang for your buck. Let me tell you what. It comes with the cleaner, hand soap, the Thieves oil, toothpaste, mouthwash, spray, and the hand purifier. So all this stuff that we're talking about, you know, being able to put healthy things on your body, on your skin, using as cleaning products around your house. This is a really good bundle that's just going to get you so much for your money. Or you can always go the route of just the basic starter kit, and you can customize it with all these different women's health products that we've been talking about tonight. So if you want to throw on that Endoflex, the progesterones, any of those other oils or supplements that we were talking about, the Sulfurzyme, vitamin D, you can throw any of those on there and make your own little extra special little starter pack for for yourself. And then, like I said earlier about the ditch and switch, you know, get what you need now for that first month, and then each month that comes along, if you sign up for the Essential Rewards program, you can get a bottle or 2 bottles of supplements each month, or change out, see which ones work for you, and just go from there. So lots of different options. And if you have any questions about how to do that, just go ahead and ask whoever invited you to the Zoom or showing you this link. Just go ahead and ask them, and they would be more than happy to go over the different options with you and see what would benefit you the best, because that's what we're really here for, is, you know, what is going to work for you. We want your needs to be met. So, all right.
Awesome. So question time, which in the words of Sophia Payne, we're going to stare you down until we get a couple of like good ones. We'll be the judge of whether or not your question is good. I'm kidding. All questions are good. But was anything in the chat, Sophie? Did you see anything in the chat? No.
Well, there's a lot in there, but
yeah, everybody's sharing like testimonies of stuff. I love it.
Yep. Lots of testimonies, but no questions that I saw.
Okay, so that means we got to stare them down.
But you can ask a question in the chat now if you would like to.
Yeah, if you're scared to talk to us, you can ask in the chat. We'll allow it.
I like what Sophie said. She said your body talks to you. You just need to figure out how to figure out what it's saying. So like we said, you know, if something just doesn't seem right, there's probably a hormone or some sort of issue going on there. So just listen to your body, you know, figure out what it's saying to you.
I had a friend years ago who decided to become a chiropractor, and he was working in my office, and he said something to me, and this was long before I decided to start using Young Living's products or really even think through like a more holistic mindset. But he was talking about how he was like, when you have a headache, like you can pop a pill and like go about your day, or you can stop for a second and think, okay, I have a headache for a reason. Like, do I need to drink more water? Am I tired? Am I really stressed out about something? Did I work out and like tweak, you know, my neck? Do I need to take it easy tonight and not go do all the errands I was thinking I was needing to do? Do I need to pray about something right now because it's weighing heavy on me? Like all these different things. And he was like, when we get into this pop a pill mindset, we really lose that sensitivity to what our body is telling us. And I think that was like 7 or 8 years ago, and I still remember that. And it was like the most casual conversation. But that's the mindset that I've started implementing.
Don't laugh at me if I say the name wrong. Thyromin. Has anyone taken Thyromin before?
You say Thyromin, I say Thyromin, you know, tomato, tomato.
Thyromin.
I have not personally taken it. Does anybody in here, do you take it, Peggy? Thyromin?
I don't. I have considered it, but I do a lot of things. I have a thyroid condition. That's the reason Hannah mentioned that I have Hashimoto's. But my wellness practice that I go to has me doing a lot of different things, including taking a bioidentical thyroid. And I think she just didn't want to maybe mix up or complicate things in that way. I very seriously thought about it because it's really not supposed, when you read about it, it doesn't raise or lower. It's not like adding necessarily the hormones in, but it's just to support your thyroid in order to have it function the way it's supposed to. So I would just suggest, like most things, this would be something, number one, I would suggest you find somebody in functional medicine. Because conventional medicine is just, they have their place, but for especially hormone issues, I really believe that you need to go to a functional medicine doctor where they're going to listen to you. And get testing done. I just got test results back. Something Hannah said a minute ago made me think, because my adrenaline was high and my cortisol in the morning. The rest of the day it was fine, but in the morning it was high. I've used Cortistop before with amazing results. Just one round of it, because it's one of those that on the bottle, it tells you to take it and then take a break and then take it again. And the reason it says that is they really want you in the meantime to get tested, because there's a lot of things that we just can't take our pulse and know. We can't take our temperature and know. About the only way, other than how you feel, the only way you can really get good feedback. And there's so many things that y'all talked about tonight that are involved. There's diet, there's exercise, there's sleep, there's hormones, and it's just this. And so right now, I just found out I have something called leptin resistance. Don't you just love to find out you got something else? And this is kind of similar to insulin resistance, because leptin is what your body produces to tell you that you're full. And if you have leptin resistance, it means it is in your bloodstream and your body is being told you're starving to death. And therefore, hang on to everything it possibly can for fuel. So I can't lose weight while I'm leptin resistant. So anyway, I'm working on that. It's always fun. But another thing somebody said the other day, as I was listening to him, they were talking about the whole idea of processed foods. And he had this wonderful Northern Britain accent. And he lived in New Zealand, and he lived with a Kiwi, as he called her, his wife. And he said, if you go into a petrol station and you look around, he said, you're not going to find food in there. You're going to find things that somebody has said you can eat. We do consume them. He said, unless you find like a banana, you're not going to find food. And then the man that was interviewing him said, if you take a Twinkie, it's got like 40 ingredients and only one is actually food. And it's banana puree, and it's way down at the bottom of the list. And if you know anything about ingredient list, the first are the ones that are the most common in it. And so as you go down, it's probably got like a splash of banana puree. The rest of it is chemicals, and yet it's in the food section of the store. So that's my soapbox. I'll get off of it.
Also for thyroid support, I would recommend doing multigreens because it has iodine in it. So I was on a separate iodine supplement from my chiropractor's office. And when I started this, I stopped that. And I didn't get like testing done after that to see if this was helping. But at that point, I was so aware of my body, like really listening. Oh, that I've just started taking this, and I need to go get testing done. I think it's really important to get testing done as women to really know what's going on in our body. Because like Peggy said, these are things that we can't just take our temperature and know about. But once we know about them, we can know what we need to give our bodies to feel our best.
And iodine is not found in hardly anything, and our bodies really, really need it. So that's why Morton's salt said iodinized. That's iodine that was added in. And so if you've gotten away from that and you started using mineral salt, you may not be getting iodine. And it may be something that is critical. There's other things like simple things like Epsom salt baths, because Epsom salt has magnesium in it, and almost 100% of Americans are deficient in magnesium. Magnesium is great to take at night to sleep. It's also great to take because it helps keep you regular. If you've ever heard of milk of magnesia, it was the magnesium in it. It also is great for a lot of people have headaches, and magnesium alone can potentially get rid of your headaches. But we can absorb it through the Epsom salts. It also has selenium, and magnesium and selenium. Selenium is very necessary for good gut health. All of these things are really important for supporting your thyroid. And because, well, here's another. Almost all autoimmune diseases start with leaky gut. And leaky gut comes from these foods we're eating that are destroying and allowing foods to get out of our gut and into our system where they're not supposed to be, and then our body attacks them. So supporting your gut health is huge.
Okay, questions. We need two good ones. Sophie, I think you need to give them your stare face. Yours is
Are
scary.
you saying my question wasn't a good question, Hannah?
No, yours was one of the three we're taking. Yours was an
Okay.
excellent question that none of us could really answer. But you could do that back Facebook. You can hop in the school and you can ask, hey, who has taken Thyromin, tomato
I also
tomato?
already ordered it, so I'll be everyone's test.
I know my friend
tester.
Megan takes it, and I can ask her what. That's the only person I know that takes it. So
I don't think Paige does. I'm not sure if she does or
she
not.
doesn't.
Yeah.
She doesn't take it.
Yeah.
Her doctor was the same thing you.
Yeah, I was very fortunate because my wellness nurse practitioner actually went through the Young Living supplements and tried to help me see what I was taking through them and how I could switch over to Young Living. And so then when I want to start something, like let's say I want to take Agile Ease, I just run it past her and say, what do you think about this? And it just is nice to have that extra set of eyes on it.
I'm staring all the people down.
Okay, I'm going to ask a question.
Megan, go.
I'm just kidding. So I love all these tips, and I think that it's all like super good information. I've already started trying to, since I got pregnant with my first baby, I started trying to like get rid of toxic cleaners and, things like that. I use vinegar to clean almost everything and stuff like that. But I feel like there's a lot to do. Like everyone, like I know you guys are saying, switch out a few things at a time, switch out, you don't have to do everything all at once. But like I've got some pretty decent gut issues, and that sort of thing. And so like what if I were to pick like 3 things to start with, what would you say are like the top 3 things? These will help you the most. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Ningxia Red and Life 9 are always the first 2 I go to. Like every single person ever needs to take those because you need to support your gut. It's so important for, like we've talked about the whole class, we were talking about hormones, but we talked about how it starts in your gut. And so if you just said our Ningxia starter kit it's your best way to get started with Ningxia. Best price point, best way to start drinking it. It's super tasty. I mean, you can ask Tosh. Tosh is obsessed with it too. Probably like 75% of the people on this call are obsessed with it. So I definitely would start there.
Cool.
So if you throw in a third product, what's the third product you should take?
Master Formula.
I actually would go, I was thinking more the route of Progessence Plus. Like I would do the 2 gut, the Life 9 and the Ningxia, and then I would go more Progessence Plus. after that, because that's getting a little bit closer to those hormones while you're supporting your gut.
And I was just saying,
It lasts a while.
Master Formula, I was just saying because it has the prebiotics in it and it is a multivitamin. But you need to also think about, I mean, we're going to throw a whole lot more at you. So we have vitamin D. Right now, I cannot stress getting enough vitamin D enough. Hannah talked about vitamin B. We've got Super B. Vitamin C is extremely important, especially if you're doing anything like a really good gut health thing is like collagen, bone broth, and things like that. But it requires vitamin C so that your body actually can absorb it the right way and you don't get aching. One of the great things about Ningxia Red, especially if you have gut issues or if you have autoimmune like I do, is you're going to have inflammation. And Ningxia Red has all of those all of those antioxidants that fight free radicals. So can't say enough about Ningxia Red. My wellness practice said everyone needs to be drinking it. Sorry, Sophie.
For what you just described, one of the things I really like Ningxia is the wide range it hits. So if there are a lot of symptoms you're seeing, what's really cool is Ningxia will knock down a lot of those. And so from there, you're able to identify, oh, I still get really bad like headaches. So I need to see what beyond my like normal, what beyond gut health is causing these. That might be the hormone imbalance, you know? Oh, my acne is still really bad, but like my energy levels are up. I have less brain fog. My muscles aren't as achy and I'm not as susceptible to getting sick. Oh, so like Ningxia help with those, but my acne is still really bad. I need to get a little bit closer to the root cause of this. Maybe that's stress. Maybe that's those hormones, you know, things like that. So to me, I like Ningxia because it's like, let's wipe out a lot of issues so we can kind of focus on the individual ones that stay behind. So I think that will be a really great place to start.
That.
Well, I also want to add in on top of what Sophie's saying, because she's talking about adding in something really good that is a broad spectrum, and we'll call it that. But we also need to remember, Sophie had said something a week or so ago about we don't exercise so that we can eat bad things. We don't take Ningxia Red so we can eat bad things. We've got to focus on the things we're taking out that are not going to cost you anything to not have them. They're going to actually add back into your budget that'll allow you to buy more Ningxia Red and more of these products. So make sure that you're thinking about all the things that are good for you to do. And I know it seems like a lot. It seems like you're just getting out so many things and you're making so many lifestyle changes. But if we were asked the question, if I could tell you, like you asked the question, like, where would I start? If there were 3 things that we could offer you an easy button to get your health back, would you do it? Well, it's going to include stopping some things that you should stop. I don't know if you know, you probably should be off gluten. Literally, everybody in America should stop eating American wheat. We need to get, and we have einkorn wheat with Young Living. I can't have any gluten. We need to be off dairy. Sorry, but pretty much everybody needs to be off dairy. If you've got acne, if you've got any skin conditions, it's a gut issue. And it's probably, dairy's probably contributing, unless you can get raw dairy products like raw milk. And if you don't have a problem, and I could go off on that. There's other allergens, things that are known for being triggers for most people. So you might want to get, I could recommend some good books that could help take you through what's called an elimination diet. And I hate that approach because it sounds so negative, but try it for 10 days, try it for a month. And if you feel a difference, you probably need to stay off some of those things for maybe 3 months. You may be able to get some of them back, but, and also rotate your proteins. Your carbs and your fats, not so much, but your proteins, don't eat the same thing day after day after day. Switch them out about every 2 or 3 days. Have chicken and then don't have it again for a while. Have eggs and then don't have them again for a couple, 3 days. So sorry. Those are some quick tips for gut health.
Awesome.
Okay, last question is Nicole. Let it go, Nicole. Be Elsa about it.
Hey, can you hear me now or no?
Yes.
Okay. Also, I don't know if you guys know, Kim has had her hand up for a while, so I don't know if she has a question. Like she raised her hand like on Zoom. How you can raise your hand.
Oh, Kim, you raised your hand. Why didn't you type it into the chat? Maybe she accidentally did that.
I don't know, because you have to go to participants and hit a button that says raise hand.
Okay, well, you go first, and then we'll see if she has something to say.
Okay. So I used to take the Life 9, but I don't think it's gluten-free. So what is a gluten-free option? Because I can't have gluten.
Gluten-free.
It
Yeah,
is?
I can't have gluten either, and it's gluten free.
Then why did my mom give me all of them? She gives me stuff because she tells me it's gluten. She can't have it.
Your mom's crazy, obviously.
We can't hear you, Joyce, because you're muted.
And your name's wrong.
Yeah,
And your name's wrong.
Life 9 is gluten-free.
I don't think it's vegan. I think that's why I gave it to you.
Oh, okay.
She's like, God, she eats grass. If it's not grass, she doesn't eat it.
I just usually assume when she gives me stuff, it's because it had gluten in it, and then we figured out that I couldn't have gluten. So then I was like, maybe I can't have this now. Okay, no, it's because it's not vegan. Okay.
Totally.
I'm looking it up right now. What's in it? Okay, Kim, do you actually have a question? I don't think she does.
Make sure you keep it in the fridge though, because it
Yes.
is live culture. So
Good reminder. I'm trying to see where this is.
The other thing that's great, and I'm excited about the supplements, Eric and I, that's what our order this month was all about. Usually when you buy something at the drugstore, it's like 90 capsules, but it's like, you must take 6 of these twice a day. Whereas the most that I've seen, and correct me if I'm wrong, the most I've seen is like 3 servings. Most things are 1, maybe 2. And so that to me is just,
Yeah, because I'm not going to take something 3 times a day. It's not going to happen. Like, no, I'm sorry.
well, and that's the awesome thing about these supplements. They are infused with the essential oils, and that's what helps you absorb the nutrients or whatever it is that's healthy in the supplements. The essential oils actually helps with that absorption, and so that's why they're so much more potent than like just generic.
You don't have to take them a
brand
bajillion
names
times a
that you
day
have to
to like.
take over and over. Yeah, exactly.
and Megan, the one thing I'll say is I started tracking this, and it's so funny when you talk to people. I've talked to people who I'm like, oh yeah, I'm taking Ningxia, and they're like, oh, I had to stop taking that because I didn't feel good. And I was like, no, 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 no. It's exactly what Sophie said. Once you realize that you've got your gut in check, if there's something else going on, you have to keep exploring. Or I had one girlfriend who's like, oh, I took Ningxia, but I just wake up every Sunday with a headache. I'm like, that's because you go out every Saturday night. So I'm like, that has nothing to do with the Ningxia.
Duh.
So anytime I've added something new, I've tried to just, and I know you're busy with Maverick, Harper. So I just type in my phone like a quick, hey, I took this today. Here's how I'm feeling. And you have to be honest with yourself. I'm like, ooh, we did have boxed macaroni and cheese for dinner. So like that's just helped me realize what really works and what doesn't work.
I like that honesty, boxed mac and cheese, you know?
It was tonight.
Natasha, we had that for lunch today, so does it count if it's organic? It was organic boxed mac and cheese.
It's slightly better. It's slightly better. I give it this much. Sophie's saying no. Sophie's saying no.
Oh.
I'm giving you the grace. I'm giving you a little bit of grace.
Thank you. Can I ask one more question? Is that
Yes. Last question of the night.
more
Make it
just
a good one.
suggestion? Laundry detergent I know is so bad. I've tried to make my own. That's okay. That answers my question. Because when I made my own, our clothes started smelling horrible. It was bad. It wasn't working. And I was like, I even tried some essential oils in there, like lemon and things, trying to make it just wasn't cleaning the clothes very well or something. So
Somebody gave me a recipe for a homemade, and you did the Fells naphtha and added the borax and everything else, but I heard that it's really bad for your actual machines, and so so you've got to kind of be careful. And I was like buying borax and had somebody say it's really, a lot of people have skin issues, irritations from it. So love what Hannah just showed you. And we get to dilute
Oh,
that
that's-
into 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're so concentrated that it spreads out. You can dilute it and make it last.
So
Like
this is the diluted bottle.
extra.
So I have 3 of these and I poured 2 of them into another one and then I filled this up with water. And so that it's so good, like you can stretch it. So then you save money. So it's not like any more expensive. I actually save money with this versus I was a huge Tide person. Like I loved the smell of Tide. I love the smell of this way more now.
And you can add your own essential oils in it and make any kind of fragrance you want. Or I drop in oils in when I'm putting that in. I like to put purification in.
And once again, it's the reason why that's like traditional laundry detergent is such an endocrine disruptor is because we wear our clothes all day and those
Yes.
smelly good things sit in those clothes, sit on our bodies all day, absorb into our bodies. This Thieves is our like #1 immune supporting blend. Smells like freaking Christmas. You're getting that to sit on your body all day long. Like think about that. So
I've actually heard a lot of stories lately about how somebody had to change their laundry detergent and then their children didn't have skin issues anymore. And there wasn't necessarily even a Young Living story, although I've heard them within Young Living. But kids dealing with like, just like psoriasis or eczema, rashes, irritations, and then think about it up against your bits, your private parts. It's sorry. Actually, years ago, I had a OB nurse practitioner tell me to double rinse your underwear because that's coming up against some sensitive areas.
good stuff. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming tonight. Chelsea said it a little bit ago, but if you have any questions about getting started, any follow-up, maybe you think of a really good question tonight while you're laying in bed, because that's always me, definitely reach out to whoever invited you. We really want to help and empower you to be aware of your overall wellness, what's going on in your body, all of that.
And I also wanted to add real quick too, speaking of boxes earlier, there also is like a quiz on the Life Steps app. You can determine what issue you're facing the most. And there's boxes that are full of suggestions of certain products that will be good for that specific issue. Like I know there's a digestive box that has a whole bunch of supplements that are perfect for digestion issues. And I know that because I took the quiz and that was what my main issue was. And so it came up with all those different suggestions, some of the stuff that we talked about tonight, and then a couple other things. So there's always other options like that as well.
Awesome. Good thinking to add that.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great night.
Bye, guys.
Bye.